Heading down to meet Max and Cam at London Furniture Studio today in Hurst. It's going to be a nice one, two really friendly guys, and we're going to take a look at how Mozaik streamlined their working day with their new CNC. They've only been in business for a few years now, so it's going to be a real interesting one. So how would you normally start your job then in Mozaik? Would you go through and set your settings up? Do you use the template? Sort of, how does it work on a day-to-day for you?
Yeah, so generally the way we do it is we'll download the site survey drawings. I'll then bring up a new file. I'll then go into the settings first. I'll then make sure that all of my door templates are correct. I'll make sure that the hinges that we'll be using on the project are correct. I'll go through, make sure all the drawers are correct. If there's any trays, I'll select the right trays. And then I'll make sure that the materials are correct for each job as well.
So we've got the cabinet labels for the full built cabinets, or do you just do it for them CNC labels?
So basically the way that our labels are set out is that it has each individual part name on it, what room it's going to be going onto. It will have a picture of the individual item itself that will indicate edge banding for us. It will tell us what material it is. It also tells us what sheet that particular part was on, which is really good because sometimes when we've fully cut a whole program out and then we notice that there's, say, a piece that's damaged or has been scratched, I can then go onto that label, check what sheet it was on, go back onto the software, and then find that exact part on what sheet it's on.
Okay, brilliant.
So it makes it super easy. Yeah, so what we do is we make sure that all of our materials are correct for the job. The library's been preset, so I don't really need to worry about that. The only time I would ever change this might be that our plinth is set to 100mm, but then on another project it might be 80mm or it might be 50.
Okay.
And then I just specify what shelf pins, what rods it's going to have, because we use different types of rods, and whether it's having legs. We generally don't use legs. Yeah, so I'll then go to the room tab. This is where I'll have my site survey up on the left screen, and I'll then go in and I'll put in all of my wall measurements first. This is really the most crucial point of everything, because if this is wrong, it means everything else is wrong. It's just making sure that we've accounted for, floor build-ups, walls that are slightly wonky, everything that has to be thought about before we even, put our first carcass in, basically. So once the room's set up, the heights are correct, the width's correct, that's when I guess we move on to the good stuff and we can start putting products in. So
with your products then in your library that you've got there, do you have sort of standard products that you would bring in and then modify, or is everything built each time brand new, or?
No, so most things are standardized. So basically what we would do is we would go in to each of these base cabinets, tool cabinets, and we would change the specifications in the settings so that every time we drop in that carcass it's always the same. Ideally, what works so well is that when the unit comes in, there's just only slight modifications we have to make before it's ready to be sent down to the CNC.
Brilliant. So you drag in your products, you modify them to make them just bespoke to your own customer, and then where does it go from there? Do you then go straight down to the CNC? Do you create drawings for the workshop, or?
So essentially what we do is once we've gotten it to the point that we're happy that this can be sent down to the CNC to be put into production, we can then import this into SketchUp, which allows us just to put some of the finishing touches on. We just kind of clean it up for the visualization of it so that we can send it to the client. Once that's been approved from the client, we then, we load it up into the cut list, and then we do all of the CNC data ready to go down to the CNC.
Okay, so we've come in, we've designed our job, and we've got all our drawings ready. Where do you go from here then?
So yeah, once the project's ready to go, I'll then go onto the cut list tab, which is going to then bring up all of the parts for the project. I can then push optimize, which is then going to bring up the CNC operator, which I'll then have a quick look over, make sure everything's looking correct. I'll then send it down to the laptop that we've got downstairs on the CNC, and then whoever's cutting out that job can then bring that up, have a look at all of the parts, and then they've got access to the labels as well, which they can then print off.
Okay, brilliant. So can we take a look at that now?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Right, so once it comes from upstairs, what we do is we then open the Mozaik software on the computer. This will then allow us to open the optimizer, which is going to bring up all the information of how many sheets, labels and things like that. So what we do is we click on view, go on optimizer.
So this is talking directly with the one that you've got upstairs.
Yes.
And
so it's all done via the cloud, just to make it super easy. So if there's any changes made, all of the computers are all synced up.
okay.
So then what we do is we open up the job that we was just on. This is then going to bring up all the information, like all the patterns that we're going to be cutting out. You can click onto each individual pattern to see, what parts that we're cutting. I generally, when we're at this stage, I'll just keep it on the labels. And then when we're ready to print the labels, I'll just click one button and then it will print. But yeah, once we're at this stage, the next thing we do is CNC is ready to go. I just need to Z it to the thickness of the material, because sometimes they're all slightly different. And then once we've Z'd it, I'll show you how we load it up and then we're all good to go.
Brilliant.
So the next stage is I load it into the CNC. So it's all been put onto the cloud. I then put the memory stick into the computer. I put the files onto the stick, which then goes into the CNC. All I do is I go onto USB files, current jobs, find the job that we're working on. There's the material that we're using. And then SO1, RO1 is sheet 1, run 1.
Okay, so that's got multiple sheets loaded in ready for you
Ready to go.
run through.
The only time this would change is if you've made any changes. It might come up as RO2 or RO3, but generally, if everything goes well, it should just say SO1, RO1.
Brilliant.
And then literally push OK. That's now ready to go.
Okay, and then would you print your labels now, or would you?
Yep, I print my labels now so they're ready to go, so that once the CNC machine's finished, I'm ready to just put them onto the material.
Okay, fantastic.
So what I'll do is I'll print them off quickly. So what we do is we click print all. Yep. So it goes green once it's printed all the labels, and then as you can see, all of our labels has the material on it, the size of it, tells us where that there's edge banding, obviously the name of the job and the part.
Okay.
So it's all there on one sticker, ready to go on.
So obviously you've got more than just the CNC, then what else would you do and what else do you use?
So we'll use the panel saw when we deem pieces on the CNC to be like too small, or like miter cuts and stuff like that. So if we run through a job, do our cut list, and there's little bits that we're like, okay, no, that's going to be a little bit, I don't know, they might go flying on the CNC machine or something like that. We'll cut them manually on the panel saw, especially miter cuts as well. You just get them nice and clean, perfect how you want them to be.
What would you say the most efficient bit of Mozaik is that sort of has progressed your workflow?
Yeah, so I would say the biggest time savers for us is the way that we're now able to construct carcasses. So previously we used to manually do all of the holes, countersunk holes, and then we'd have to pre-drill to construct the carcass. But now we don't have to do any of that. So we can now use, whatever fixings your preferred choice you can use. There's a massive library of different fixings that you're able to use. We use the Lamello Cabineo just as our preference, because we find it a lot quicker on site for constructing. But the main time savers is fixings like hinge holes, plates, adjustable shelves. Like, it's all done on the CNC, so we don't have to do any of that manually anymore. And I think the biggest thing for me as well is that, doing it before, we are accurate, but we're only accurate so far. Yeah. Where, because it's coming from the CNC and it's spot on, it means that I've got the confidence that when I put that door onto that carcass, it's going to fit and it's going to be correct, unless I've done something wrong. So I think another one of the main features that I really like about using the software as well is that obviously not everything's 2D. Having that 3D visualization is a really big thing for spotting errors as well. And it's really simple. All you do is you click one button and then it will give you the 3D representation of the units that you're constructing. For instance, say we've got some internal drawers here. I like to use the 3D view because you can change it to the wireframe, so then I can come in and have a look and make sure that the depth of my drawers are correct. If we've got hinges on, as you can see that it's indicated with hinges here, if I've got drawers there, for instance, if I haven't double checked and I haven't pushed those drawers back, it might interfere with the hinges.
You don't want any collisions
so
coming on.
it's just little things like that we like to check before we send it downstairs, because check twice, cut once.
Exactly.